My name is Gary Schaefer. I'm a sergeant with the 13th North Carolina Company B. I'm the unit commander. I live in Union County, North Carolina. I've been reenacting now for 5 years. The reason I do reenact is part of my heritage. I am the descendant of a Southern soldier, and also for a love of history. I enjoy putting on the uniform. I enjoy going to schools, teaching school kids, doing living histories, and actually doing the battle reenactments. The 13th was an actual unit. Company B was formed in South Mecklenburg County and served throughout the war from 1861 to 1865. And we try to represent them as accurately as possible for the public for education demonstration purposes.
Company, charge, bayonet. Soda, arms. Company, guard against infantry, guard. Soda, arms.
I'm Carl Howerton. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Originally, I'm from Southeast Kentucky. Been doing reenactment for about 6 years now. I really love the Civil War, always have since a kid. And primarily, I do it to honor my ancestors. I had 5 members of my family in the same unit, 37th Tennessee Company B out of Tennessee. But the main thing I get out of it now is just helping others enjoy history, teaching them a little bit, and the companionship and friendship that we have as a unit.
My name's Kenny Brotherton. I live in Cornelius, North Carolina. I've been reenacting for about 6 or 7 years. I lost count. I enjoy this. I'm normally an outdoor person anyway, but the main thing is I enjoy the fellowship, my friends. I enjoy the history. It takes a little work, but it's a love that really comes back twofold, and it gives you a chance to try to learn enough that you can pass it on and help teach other people.
My name is Kathleen Sookie. I live in Marvin, North Carolina. I've been Civil War reenacting for 9 years. I've been a history buff for most of my life. The Civil War has been a fascinating subject, and so I read every book I could find for a long time, and then I went out and became a reenactor so I could really see what it was like for the soldiers. I started out as a lady and did that for 1 year, and then became a soldier primarily because we needed more muskets. And it's more fun doing this, and I want to commemorate the lives of the men who suffered and died. I think the war was a defining one for our country's history, and so that's why I do what I do. Before a battle, I get nervous. I think about what it was like for the soldiers really to go into battle, and I can sympathize with the fact that I'm not going to get killed. I may pretend to be dead, but the boys who really died, who really fell, who really fell on the field, and they were 17 and 18 and they lay there dying, knowing that they would never see their homes and their families again. I keep that in my mind when I'm reenacting. I think that's very important to realize the sacrifice.
My name's Rex Hovey. I'm a surgeon with the 13th North Carolina Troops. I've been reenacting since 1986. I'm out of Mint Hill, North Carolina. I've enjoyed doing this for the past 20 years, and surgery is a passion of mine that I've learned about the medical aspects of Civil War medicine, and I have a surgical hospital that we set up, a 13th North Carolina Field Hospital, and we set it up at the different battlefields that are around the United States, and we perform surgeries. We give an example of what life was like if you entered a hospital during the war, or a field hospital where you got your initial treatment. Considered an ER of today, but back then it was maybe in a barn like we're in here today, or in a tent, or just under a nice grove of trees. But it was the emergency medicine that initially saved the soldier from bleeding to death. But during the Civil War, they learned that they needed to get the wounded off the battlefield very quickly back into regimental field hospitals and what you'd call an early MASH unit, or early paramedics or first responders. And that's what I just like to show people.
My name is Rhonda Byers, and I'm here today to do an impression of one of the members of the Order of the Sisters of Charity of Our Lady of Mercy, which was a Catholic order of nursing and teaching nuns that started in Charleston, South Carolina in 1829. The nurses during the Civil War were predominantly male, and about 60% of them were men working in the field that were brought in to help the surgeons. The other 30% were nuns. Nuns were the only source of trained nurses that were available. The Sisters of Charity of Our Lady of Mercy made tremendous contributions to Union soldiers as well as Confederate. We were allowed to cross lines in order to save lives, and there's a monument in Washington, D.C. that stands today in tribute to these fine women. So I enjoy doing this to honor those women and to share the information and make sure that their contributions aren't forgotten.
The reason I do this is, like I say, a love of history, but it's also the fellowship around the campfire. To me, it's extended family. We care about each other. We contact each other after reenacting. It's not just meet on a Saturday, dress up, play, and go home. We have a fellowship among ourselves. It's a pretty tight bond. We travel up and down the eastern seaboard, into the Midwest, doing living histories and battle scenarios. And it's really a love and a passion of mine.